Oh, right, where to start? Well, this isn't your usual start to a video. I'm getting bothered by midges. I've been a little bit crap recently. Anytime I've been out filming, I've been really, what's the word? Bad. Just bad at it. I've been bad at getting these sort of bits to camera and sort of B-roll and things like that. And it's just making my videos a little bit lackluster, I think. So I'm going to try something a little bit different with this one today. I've sort of got a video to put out, but it's missing a lot of talking to camera and explanation of what happened throughout the day or days. So I'm just going to do a little bit to camera first, sort of set it up and then sort of tap in as we go along through the actual fishing itself, and hopefully it gives it a little bit more context. So, I mean, as you know, I've been doing a little bit of travelling across the Lake Districts recently since I've got the float tube, and really enjoyed myself. I had an opportunity recently to meet up with Andy. We'd had it planned for just a little while, not long. He was going to bring his kayak up. I was going to take my float tube across, and we'd have a couple of days fishing. No pressure, no real aims or targets, just have a bit of fun. The first day was a little bit of a nightmare. If you want to know the full story of that, I'll probably direct you to the latest episode of the Lure Fishing Podcast, where we go into more detail about what happened. But basically, we had a water in mind that we wanted to fish, couldn't get Andy's kayak on there, decided going up a river was going to be the best option without really scouting it, and it wasn't the best option. We ended up going up 3 or 4 sets of rapids. Took us about an hour and a half, only to find 4/5 of the way there that we couldn't get to the lake. There was a tree falling across the river. We just couldn't get there. So let's do the reverse, come back, 2 and a bit hours in at this point, decided to go down and fish the lake below, which we wasn't going to do. We was going to just call it a day and do some scouting for the next day and have a little bit of dinner. But when we sort of worked out, the lake below the river was maybe 200-300 yards and a clear route. It was deep water, we could just float down. It was a bit of a no-brainer once we was already on the water. So that's what we did. We went down there. The fishing was okay. Okay, stretching it a little bit probably. It was tough. We were seeing lots of fish on tech. Andy with way more tech than me, obviously. I'm just on my little old float tube and a deeper. And Andy had his behemoth of a kayak with every bit of tech you could possibly imagine. But we were seeing fish, we just couldn't get them to react or activate. But we did catch a couple of pike. I had a pike that went absolutely mental, which I'll put a clip in here. Anyway, I might go for drinks tonight, mate. Yeah. Fish on. Yeah. Jackathon. Oh, spinning me around. Oh. Oh my God. Jesus Christ. Right. Are you done, mate? Nope. Right, now are you done? Right, come on. No. Right, enough's enough now. Come on. Don't do anything silly. Oh. I'm going to fall off this chair if I don't right myself. There we go. Gotcha. God, absolutely T-boned it. Actually, that's not a bad one. We'll take that. All right, straight back. But yeah, after that, we sort of formulated a plan for the following day and sort of called it a day relatively early. Got a bit of food in, had a little bit of rest, went back to the campsite we were staying in and was going to get up in the morning and go again. So we worked out a way how we was going to get onto the lake we originally wanted to go on. A bit of a questionable way we got on in the end. And the fishing was better. It wasn't, I wouldn't say it was good. It was better. I'm just doing my usual, nothing fancy. Casting small jig heads, soft plastic shads, particularly the Kitech swing impact fat. Just casting it, either fishing it shallow over the top of weed beds, or in this case in particular, casting it, letting it get all the way to the bottom in 20 odd foot of water, and sort of giving it a spin stop. So 5 turns of reel handle, letting it raise, letting it fall. And that's what I was doing to start with, and it resulted in this. Fish, perch. Yeah, I think so. Well, not a bad one. If it stays as a perch, it might turn into a pike in a minute. Yeah. If it stays as a perch, it's quite a nice one. Yeah, it's a perch. Not a monster. I'll take it. Yeah. Actually, that's quite long. Absolutely swallowed the jig, like, gone. Well, there we go. That's the first fish of the day. Andy had spotted them using his tech and told me where to cast, and I picked this one off. Nothing new for me. Light jig head, spin stop, swing impact fat, nothing new. Probably just about touching 40 centimetres. But we'll get this one back and see if we can find a few more. Now, I was really pleased with that, after the day we'd had previous. This happened quite early on into the fishing on the second day. So I was really pleased to get off the mark and with a decent fish. I had something else in the back of my mind, which I'll touch on later, which was quite important actually, but we'll touch on that a little bit later. But yeah, we carried on fishing. We carried on seeing more fish. Andy was seeing fish on the live scope that he was trying to target, and same sort of problems we had the day previous, just couldn't get them to switch on or to turn onto a bait. He eventually got one to commit, and it was a big one. The one I'd had was a little over or a touch over 40 centimetres. Andy's one looked big, and I sort of convinced him to measure it in the end, and it was 47 centimetres, which is a huge perch from a wild water. Not talking trout reservoirs or stocked waters. This is a totally wild reservoir, totally wild water, not a reservoir. Yeah, a 47 centimetre fish was incredible. So I don't know if I've got any footage of it as such, but if I have, I'll put it in now, and I'll also just tag in the picture of it once I've sort of finished talking, which is such an awesome fish.
It's got to be 47.
Yeah, it's more than that. It's going to be 47. Yeah.
It's a fucking swallow. But I thought it was a pike.
Put it back.
Yeah. Okay. Mate, I'm not going to say something really daft now, but the trials and tribulations of yesterday are making today even look more fun.
Yeah. Yeah, so the day sort of continued as that, just seeing fish, couldn't get them to interact, got lots of follows, couldn't get them to commit. Thought I'd just change up a little bit. So I took off a shad, I went into something a little bit more reactive. So I put on a lipless crank, just not something I do very often, but I've had good results in the past, especially when fish have been a little bit difficult to sort of get to commit. And it's fishing the same sort of retrieve. So I'm just casting the lipless crank out, letting it hit the bottom, ripping it up off the bottom, letting it sink again, and just repeating that all the way back to directly underneath me, and I had a good result, which I will put in here. Fish on. Worked it out. They want it quick. Andy, worked it out. It's a good one. That was it. That was what they wanted. Absolutely swallowed. That's a monster. Oh my God. Right. I'm going to need to find my forceps for this one. It is gone. Well, it's been quite frustrating actually, because we're seeing fish but we can't catch them, but we may have just twigged something. I've chucked on a lipless crank, do the same sort of thing as I was with the shad, just cast and retrieve, sort of sink and draw, and this absolutely slammed it under the boat. So one fish isn't a pattern, so we're going to put this one back and see if we can work a bit more out. Andy's going to do similar, I think, and then if we can catch a few like that, it could be a bit of a deadly tactic. So let's go back. So as you can imagine, a 45cm fish for me was absolutely out of this world. I was so pleased. It sort of rounded off a lovely day. 3 perch between us, all of them over 40cm. The two biggest, 45 and 47, was an incredible result from a water we both know incredibly little about, or its potential. We was really pleased. And he did have a rogue pike, which snaffled one of his perch baits, but it was the only pike we had at that, I think, so that was quite good. But yeah, so I'll just go back to what I was tapping onto earlier about sort of having another thing in mind. Obviously, most of you watching this will have heard I have been invited to fish in Lure Battle. So Lure Battle is a lure fishing tournament based on YouTube in sort of a knockout format. So there's 12 anglers in total. We've all been drawn against each other for the first round, so sort of 1v1s, and the winner from each round progresses on to the semi-finals, where you'll be another draw, and they go on, the winners from the semi-finals go on to the final, which is 3 people, all on the same venue on the same day. Round 1 and the semi-final, you can fish wherever you want. So you can fish a canal, a lake, a river, a reservoir, whatever you want. You can fish from the bank, in a boat, on a float tube, on a kayak, wading, however you want to do it, which I think is really cool. It's quite unique for these type of competitions because it'll open up for lots of people to play to their strengths. You're not sort of being forced into making a square peg fit a round hole, and it should allow for lots of fish to be caught and lots of entertainment for you guys at home watching. But we've got to pick our own venue, so I've been trying to do a little bit of sort of pre-fishing and working out where I want to be. I'm pretty sure at this point that I'm going to be fishing in a lake district somewhere. The rivers near me obviously have potential for big fish. You would have seen some videos over the winter where I've caught plenty of big perch, and there is always the opportunity for a big pike or two. I just haven't worked them out so far this season. I've done a little bit of fishing on them. I've had some reasonable results on the perch, but the pike, I've not done much targeting of them, to be honest, but they haven't sort of given themselves up. So I think I'd be wasting my time, because you've only got one day to do this. We've got 8 hours fishing to catch the card, which is 3 perch and 2 pike. So I need to go somewhere where in a relatively small area I can catch both, and I've got a good opportunity to catch both. So I'm thinking I'm going to be in the Lake District. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be there somewhere. I'm probably going to be on my float tube, and now it's just a case of working out what particular venue I want to fish. So I'll be doing plenty of pre-fishing leading up to the actual round, but I'm sort of getting into the mindset now, sort of earmarking a few venues. So I'll be keeping an eye on the one that me and Andy fished, and maybe doing a bit more on there if I can sort of tap into a few more fish a bit more regularly and work them out, and have the opportunity of catching a pike or two. That's probably where I will end up. Really, I just wanted to mention Lure Battle because it's going to be quite important for me, for you guys to get involved. I want to hear your opinions. I'd love to hear some feedback once it airs, but I also want your support. I want you guys on there in the comments, liking, commenting, cheering me on, giving me plenty of encouragement. Now, if you follow this channel for any amount of time, you'll know I'm not the most competitive angler in the world. Winning isn't a huge thing for me, but what I do want to do is entertain and maybe give you guys a little bit of something to take away with you, learn something from something I put out. So that's going to be my main goal from Lure Battle. Is I'm fishing against some really top anglers who are going to be able to fish how they want to fish. The likelihood of me winning is quite slim, but what I do want to do is give you guys some sort of value from the series. So I hope to just be able to entertain a little bit. So anyway, I just wanted to just tap in and let you guys know about Lure Battle, and hopefully get you guys behind it and cheering me on all the way through as far as I end up going. Yeah, I suppose that's really where this video ends. Hopefully this sort of works a little bit. I am getting really lazy when it comes to doing this on the days I'm actually fishing and filming videos. I'm an angler, the fishing sort of comes first, and I just forget. and I just get sucked into the fishing. And then by the end of the day, I think, oh, I haven't done this, I haven't done that. By that point, I'm spent, I'm knackered, I've done everything I'm going to do that day. And I just call it a day. I mean, if you were to see or know how many fishing sessions I go on that start as a filming session and get abandoned halfway through the day, be it because the fishing is not good enough, and I don't feel like it's going to make a decent video, or I can't be bothered to do this bit. It happens way more than it probably should. But anyway, hopefully this works. This could be a way of me doing it. If I just go out, film content, forget about this bit until I can dedicate a little bit of time to just sitting, talking to you guys, giving you the story of the video, and hopefully it makes some sort of cohesive sense, and it just makes my life and making videos a bit easier and gives you guys a bit more entertainment. So anyway, we're going to call it a day there. Remember, get behind me in lure battle. Leave some comments below where you think I should fish. Should I risk it all? Should I stay local? Should I fish the rivers? Should I get on a float tube? Should I go on the bank? What do you reckon? I'm pretty sold at this point, but I'm open to suggestions. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one.